dry summer in the wildlands of Australia's tropical northeast. Truckers who dare head up here face an ordeal of heat, dirt and dust.
Because here, on dirt, you've literally gone to hell on earth.
For the last 2 days, 47-year-old Turbo has been fighting a running battle in this land of trucking torment.
It's hot, it's rough, and my truck's falling to pieces.
He's just delivered $200,000 worth of mining vehicles.
That's now another customer happy. It's another delivery well done.
Now, he faces a long, hard road home to Brisbane with an empty truck. And in this game, the bottom line is simple. No load means no money.
Every time that wheel doesn't turn, it costs a couple of $1,000.
He's desperate to find a load out of the small, remote town of Weipa to pay his $2,000 fuel bill home.
It's going to cost a fortune to run home empty.
But time's against him. Other trucking jobs are lined up at home. If Turbo's late back, he could lose them and thousands more dollars.
And I've got 6 trailer loads from Brisbane to Melbourne that I've got to do.
To get here, Turbo's faced some of the most arid, chewed-up dirt highways in Australia, capable of reducing rigs to ruins.
Getting your load and your rig there in one piece really tests the driver.
Now he faces them all over again, with no load to soften the blow. But from out of nowhere comes good news.
Oh yeah, I got it, I still got the touch.
He's landed a lucrative job. 2 large mobile huts bound for a mine 1,800 kilometres away. Each fragile hut is worth $100,000. They must survive some of the roughest roads in the country.
Go north.
But it's not just the dirt Turbo will have to contend with. This remote tropical frontier is just 1,400 kilometres from the equator.
Stinking hot. It's a wet heat, but you sweat out. Yeah, right on the fence.
With temperatures passing 40 degrees,
Clear.
the 130-kilo trucker must wrestle a 20-ton building onto his truck.
Happy with that, mate?
One hut's on. But suddenly, something's wrong. Turbo's in trouble.
My head's now spinning. I'm just about ready to pass out because of the heat.
In the brutal conditions, his body's overheating. He's at risk of getting heat stroke. Left untreated, it can be fatal.
I'm just trying to cool the body, get the body to regulate the temperature again and cool the temperature right off, but it's just...
But with vital freight waiting to be loaded, Turbo decides to tough it out. Push too hard now, and the whole trip could go into meltdown.
Yeah. Is it worth me going to the point of heat exhaustion? I'd do it all day, every day if I had to.
He survived the heat, and he's fully loaded. Now, Turbo faces 1,100 kilometres of diabolical dirt. All up, the massive rig weighs in at over 50 tonnes. But it isn't the weight that worries Turbo.
It is an awkward load, and it's also a very fragile load.
Any damage will come out of Turbo's pocket.
I am a little nervous about braking stuff. The estates are extremely hot.
On this vital run, he can't afford to smash anything.
Oh. Something didn't sound right. Something really didn't sound right. Oh, shit. That's not good.
The violence of the road has ripped a metal tap clean off a water tank. Out here, it's a precious resource. But there's more serious trouble above. An aircon unit's taken a beating.
Yeah, that's pulled that down.
He's had a day of heat exhaustion and hard grind. Now, Turbo's looking at a damage bill worth hundreds of dollars.
I'm over this at the moment. I'm over this.
And just when he's down,
You arrogant drove through that water and sprayed water or mud all over me.
but there's yet another headache. Nightfall is looming, and at 4 metres wide, Turbo's rig is classed as oversized. He must be off the road by dark.
Oh, you f***ing thing.
His camp's still 50 kilometres away. If Turbo can't make it in time, he'll be sleeping on the roadside.
Yep, I'm over the day. I really am. I've had enough of the day.
Turbo's not happy.
It's not going to move.
And ahead is another hard run on the dirt.
This is bone-shattering, truck-smashing road.
It's now Turbo's 4th day on this hell of a highway. While his truck's taking a hammering, his main concern is the damage to his $200,000 fragile load.
Front trail is fine, but the back trail is playing up.
If the huts take a hit, he'll have to foot the bill.
What the hell's that?
Turbo's got more trouble. He urgently needs to check the load. The first hut's a mess. But at the second,
The one I'm worried about the most, this building. What the hell?
there's even more trouble.
Was there an air conditioning unit in that?
The whole air conditioning unit's vanished. Turbo's hoping it's fallen into the hut.
Oh, that's why I can't get in. That's... oh.
The unit's a write-off, adding another $800 to his damage bill.
Oh, God.
Despite all his best efforts, the rough road's slowly destroying Turbo's freight.
What do you do?
Any more damage, and he'll come out of it deep in the red.
I'm just driving real steady, real slow.
With work waiting at home, he must keep moving, or he'll lose thousands more dollars. But some days, you just can't catch a break. Outback roadworks, 2 kilometres of them. But Turbo worried. The detour is a narrow slip road, lined with trees.
Them trees are right on the edge. One of these buildings hits those trees. It's about $100,000 for it to replace the building.
That kind of damage could wreck not just Turbo's load, but his business.
Yeah, mate, listen, I'm 4'6" in height. Mate, any chance I can sort of run down the middle instead of running down that tablespoon and cleaning up all the trees? No one's giving straight answers. Yes, mate?
Yeah, mate, that's a negative. We're coming up on the pavement, mate. Negative. We've got too much land on the road and negative.
With permission denied, there's no option. He'll have to take his $200,000 load onto the tight, tree-lined slip road. Hit one, and he could face a business-breaking damage bill. To protect the load, he's dropped his speed.
Now we're doing 10k an hour.
While he's keeping clear of the trees to the side, Above, there's a problem.
Tree's got me hung up right in the middle of the detour. If I go into it or pull at the gate, it'll just peel the whole roof straight off of this front one.
Turbo needs an extra pair of eyes. He'll have to put his trust in the roadworks crew.
I can't see up the top. I can only assume and listen for something to go bang and pop.
After a nail-biting crawl, Turbo's made it. His next stop is 250 kilometres away in the town of Mariba, but time's against him.
Now I'm going to be off the road before dark. So that's just the rules of road train oversized. So it's a big push.
And up ahead, more trouble.
There's a load limit on the bridge, and I'm over 42 tonne. So I'm going to go on the bypass.
But out here, a bypass is no smooth piece of bitumen. For a 50-tonne road train, it may as well be an assault course.
That's going to be hard to do, and I'm just afraid of getting bogged.
It's sharp, twisting, tight and sandy. A perfect storm for getting bogged. After 4 days of hell, Turbo's alone in wild country and running out of daylight. Get stuck now and he'll have a whole new battle to fight. In the remote north of Western Australia, the roads are unforgiving.
So, you know, it's just rough, bony corrugations and flogs the crap out of everything.
For husband and wife trucking team, Nick and Joe Atkins,
I've seen it worse.
Maybe, we'll see.
they wouldn't have it any other way.
We love where we go, so we wouldn't be doing trucking anywhere else.
On the outskirts of Kununurra, they're putting together 3 trailer loads of assorted supplies for a remote top-end community.
There's certain things you just can't put in a plane, like a machine or a whole Toyota or something for that matter. So we like to be able to try and get gear to the people that need it.
Keeping the customers happy is crucial for the survival of their family trucking business.
This trip's a bit of a mixed bag, a bit of a milk run. So we've got some vehicles, we've got trailers, we've got hay, we've got mulch, we've got
Playground equipment for the school.
we've got a couch,
We've got a bloody troop carrier full of plants in here.
we've got white goods, we've got
General bits and pieces.
all stuff that is nice and awkward to pack.
It's a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Show us what you're made of, honey!
But some pieces of this puzzle should never go together. 5 drums of fuel for local fishermen. And a stack of fertiliser. An explosive combination.
It's always in the back of your mind, and if it does catch fire, what do you do?
Transporting the volatile freight safely is their biggest challenge.
And the road takes its toll on the freight, the gear, us.
And joining them is Lynn, a new family member, making her debut as an Outback trucker.
I think she'll turn out all right for a truck dog.
It's a dawn start for Lynn's first day on the job.
Ready to hit the road.
We're on the dirt from here on in, right to Kalumburu. Here's where the fun begins. Oh, there we go. The road's rough, it's just shocking for the freight and the bloody truck and trailers too.
The Pentecost River crossing is always tough, but today Nick's especially cautious.
We'll stop just on the other side of here. We'll have to check for rocks in the fuels.
His truck is fitted with brand new drive tyres. Nick doesn't want them cut to shreds this early in the journey.
Bloody rocks get stuck in between the jewels and rupture all the bloody tyre. I don't want to be tired. New drive, especially when you drive tyres.
The experienced trucker's caution pays off.
That's him.
Nick solves one problem, but Joe's concerned about another.
This drum's just got a little leak in the bottom of it.
Corrugations, they bust the bottom of the drum out. They don't handle foam and rattle along the corrugated road.
With the combustible cargo of fertiliser, the leaking fuel is a serious hazard.
Fuel, it is flaming, very flammable. You know, and sitting on a bloody deck of a hot trailer all day, you got bloody rattling around
And it's only going to get hotter and rougher on the corrugated roads ahead. With no loader, they can't fix it on the side of the road.
So when we get to Drysdale, we can either flip that drum over or we can just grab an old empty from there and we can just pump it across. And
Rightio, we'll see how it travels from here. Oh, back to the rattle, rattle, rattle.
This load's getting no relief from the harsh road.
And all the freight's constantly up and down on the trailer and just shakes everything to bits. Well, Drysdale, here we are, our first bloody drop-off.
At Drysdale Station, there's a welcome family reunion. Nick's son Jaden is employed as a station hand.
oh, you've been working hard.
What are you having a beer for?
Oh, yeah, good to see you.
Knock-off time.
Jaden thought his working day was done,
Can't be 5 o'clock yet.
but Dad has other ideas.
I need to lift that boat trailer off, so then you can unload the hay. You got a set of slippers for your fork?
No, but I've got slippers for the tractor.
Without the right equipment for unloading, Nick gets creative.
We'll use the tractor and the forklift, one on each side, and I'll just pull the trailer out from between it.
Tilt the back of it.
Father and son work together in a precision manoeuvre.
Very, very slow. Beautiful.
The trailer's safely landed, but the leaking fuel drums aren't so lucky.
How much is left in there?
Huh?
Someone's going to be spewing when they get up there.
The trouble with Kalumburu being so remote, if their freight gets destroyed on the way, you can't just whiz back into town and get another, like, that's it, you know, that could be it for another 6 months or so. You gotta learn to jump, hey? Hop up! Hop up! Go!
Right, we're ready to go.
Going to turn the up here very shortly, I reckon.
There's no surprises for Nick on the Kalumburu road.
This is what busts the arse out of them drums.
But it's a tough first trip for his new dog.
Oh, Len, it's mongrel idea, these corrugations, aren't they?
The corrugations are harsh on driver, dog and cargo. A fellow road warrior soon sounds the alarm.
Yeah, you got a copy there, Truckie?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, we smelled a lot of petrol or something when we just went past you.
Yeah, mate, I've got a 44, but he's got a hole in it.
No worries, mate. Cool.
Thanks, mate. You have a good day, eh?
Same to you, bud. See you, mate.
I'll pull up here and have a look. Make sure no more 44s are ruptured the arse out of them. Because this is what'll do it. Pain in the arse.
The constant pounding from the road is destroying the ruptured fuel drum.
Take 200 litres of fuel up for a fisherman and then and he gets up here and he's got one empty drum.
To make a bad day worse, the pallet of fertiliser has collapsed.
Oh, they're slip things, aren't they? These bags just do not want to stay there.
Petrol, fertiliser and extreme heat. It's an explosive mix.
So the thought in your mind with fertiliser and, you know, you get a leak in drum, if something does go wrong, what do I actually do to get myself out of that predicament? I've got fertiliser all over the...
It needs restacking before any more fertiliser hits the trailer deck.
I've got it. Mongrel stuff. Well, I've only got about another 20k.
That's 20 kilometres on cargo-killing corrugations.
Getting into the mountain goat country now.
Just short of their destination, there's one last obstacle for the fully loaded 3-trailer road train.
I'll be amazed if we do get up here.
You can do it, baby.
Oh, come on, old girl. She got it. She got it.
Not by much.
Just arrived in Kalumburu. That's where all this freight's got to get unloaded here.
They've made it, but with some casualties.
Yeah, I hate telling people that we've lost a couple of $100 worth of their freight along the way.
The fishermen get 4 of their 5 fuel drums.
No worries, mate. Hey, he's going. I got a whole heap of young fellas into her.
The community get all of their supplies.
Don't drop the fridge.
All in all, a good day at the office.
No longer flammable.
Mate, I'm bloody glad it's over.
Everyone seems pretty happy, even with the few little broken things we had and the leaky drum and the lack of fertiliser. So now, all things considered, it's pretty good. And now we can go home. Slowly.
Outback trucker Yogi Kendall is collecting a fragile and valuable cargo.
So that's our little adventure sitting there.
3 vintage tractors and a motorbike from his home base in Western Australia.
Motorbikes are designed to be ridden, not bloody transported.
These 2 1920 Hart-Par tractors are just short of a century old. Adding to Yogi's ancient load is this 1950 Lanza Bulldog.
This one's only about 70 years old. Young one.
All 3 of these antique gems are heading to Victoria for a makeover to restore them to their former glory.
Isn't that good? Little one? How are ya? And it's, oh yes, very important. Love you.
Love you.
Yogi's life on the road brings long spells apart from his kids.
I regret missing the kids growing up. That plays in my mind a bit. All right, see you later. All right, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
And his wife of 15 years, Amanda.
I feel like I don't see enough of the kids and the family, and what do you do?
This job will keep Yogi away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's
Get out, mate!
The antique tractors he's hauling are not an easy load. They've got no brakes or rubber tyres to help roll them straight onto his trailer.
Yeah, these are 100-year-old ones, these ones.
Yogi's borrowed a heavy-duty crane from a farm equipment sales yard. But only until it opens for business at 7 a.m. He needs to load quickly.
And we're burning favours by using their yard. They start at 7, I don't want to upset them. Right here, bud, in you go. Just come down a bit.
His plan is to position the front wheels of the first tractor on the upper deck and its back wheels on the lower deck.
First plan didn't work for the day.
But with time ticking down, Yogi's having second thoughts.
It's not going to work. It's just not going to sit nicely. I've got to make half a metre somewhere. Plan A didn't do the job. So we'll go to plan B. Sit him down there.
By removing the ramp, he adds a little more length to the lower deck.
Yeah, boy. The Eagle has landed. Well, the Bulldog has landed. These ones here probably longer at the back.
With time running out before he loses the borrowed crane, Yogi needs to get the last tractor loaded fast.
Yep, that'll do. Come down.
It's going to be tight, if it fits at all.
Right here, Matty. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Nice one.
There's just millimetres to spare.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, boys. 10:40 a.m.
The first leg of the journey is no time to relax as Yogi's load of vintage collectibles settle into position.
I work to a standard, no damage. Do something wrong with these tractors, I can't replace these tractors. I've got to pay attention all the time. Can't see that bike, which is a bit of a pain. But I'm just going to pull up here and have a little bit of a look around.
On inspection, the bike's fine, but it's lucky Yogi stopped to check.
Oh yeah, we got our first casualty. That rod wasn't sitting on that chain. So that rod has come off. These big suckers here, they're never designed to be transported, that's one thing for sure. This is sacrilege on an old machine, but I ought to put a cable tie on a 1920s tractor. Rightio.
With the load settled and secure, Yogi's back on the road.
I'm actually a little bit excited that it's good. It's just sitting there very nicely, so I can settle down into the groove here and just kind of start appreciating the Ks and the days now, you know.
As the light begins to fade, Yogi completes close to 500 kilometres of the journey.
Right, that's me.
He's looking forward to a well-earned sleep when he gets an alarming text message from the vendor of the motorbike.
The money hasn't been transferred for the bike, so the bike hasn't actually been paid for by the new owner.
The new owner is covering the cost of freight. If he reneges, Yogi could be out of pocket to the tune of $500. He tries to track down the vendor for advice.
Nothing, no answer either. If the bike's not paid for and old mate can't come up with the money in Melbourne, well, it has to go back to WA.
For Yogi, no delivery means no paycheck for his family.
Not my problem, but it's become my problem.
With the pressures of the trucking life piling on, the loneliness of the road begins to get to Yogi.
2 weeks away from the kids and the family. I feel like I don't see enough of them. I see myself getting out of trucks. Yeah, you could give it all up in a heartbeat. Love you.
I love you.
Two days on the road, and 2,700 kilometres later, Yogi crosses the state line into Victoria.
Coming to civilisation means we've got towns and people and authorities. You got to pay just a little bit more attention.
Soon the open road gives way to urban sprawl. Yogi's least favourite part of the drive.
Could you get any quicker on the lights? Welcome to Victoria. Oh, traffic is just brutal. Come on, 1 for 1. That's how we get the job done.
And And it's not just the other drivers who grind his gears.
Bloody, like I'm all for, right, the bike riders, right? I've got to give them a metre, yet when I'm sitting in traffic, they come up a metre under me. That annoys me.
Eventually, Yogi clears the traffic and starts eating up the final Ks to the drop-off.
We're off. Back out on the open road. Everything is going nicely. Yeah, you normally jinx yourself when you say everything's going really well.
While Yogi waits to hear about the fate of the motorbike, he's ready to unload the vintage tractors, still fully intact after the long drive.
And we're about to unload. Back it in there.
The tractors are heavy, awkward,
So don't let them roll over once you go over that.
and irreplaceable.
Just come him up a bit. Yeah. Whoa. Good job, boys. Yeah, come off really well. I reckon that was the heaviest. Just takes that bounce out of it. Just watch that swing. He's off.
Yeah, one more of them, we're off.
Just the small one to go.
This will be the easiest.
There you go.
It's a win on the tractors.
Jeez, and it's all over as easy as that.
Just as Yogi is leaving, he gets a text from the vendor of the motorbike.
Payment received in my account. Oh. That means the bike is good to deliver. Well, there's one little battle I don't have to fight.
It's a result that means the long trip has been financially fruitful.
We made it.
The next day, Yogi's back on the road.
Happy days, happy days.
He's missing his family, but he can't head home just yet. Yogi's been asked to present a Trucking Legends Award at the Haywood Truck and Ute Show.
Feel really good about being here and, being part of this show.
And he's got a speech to memorise.
It's like homework, you leave it till the last minute. These people are legends in the industry, and I don't want to balls it up. I've got to have the right words coming out my head. Oh, hello. Hi. Oh, loud. Hi. Lovely day for it. Country shows are great. It's really, really mad.
Yogi leaves the sanctuary of his truck and nervously takes to the podium.
The industry, you do a lot, you spend a lot of time away and you make a lot of sacrifices, and a lot goes unsung. We just do it because we love the job.
His heartfelt words go down well with the crowd.
Good job, mate, well done. The emotions in the room are pretty full on, it's great, thank you. Every day on the road, you're treated like an object. Today you go down the road and you're treated like a bit of a bloody legend. Hey, how you going? What's going on? Well, people recognise who you are and they recognise what you've done. So we got everybody? Squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in. And it is an emotional job, it's a tough gig.
On days like this, trucking doesn't feel like such a lonely job. Aussie trucks cover 44 million kilometres a day. Enough to get to the moon and back 50 times. And more than half the country's roads are unsealed. It takes a special kind of driver to ride these roads. In Perth, two-up team Jeff Bluesy Barrow and Nolene Turner are getting ready for a 3-day run out into the bush.
Ew.
Bluesy's been driving solo for more than 30 years, but for the last 6, he's shared the cab with his partner.
For years and years, he's only ever driven on his own. He just couldn't handle anyone else in the truck.
And they make a perfect team.
Hey! Come up here.
most of the time.
Hang on, boss wants me.
Listening to his mates and people who know him on the road, and they go, wow, he's got a tour-up driver and it's a woman? What? Living with him, eating with him, sleeping with him, working with him, it's a challenge.
All right. That plug's it's your problem. Okay, I'm not arguing. Do you want a drink or not?
How do you say you want to open the door and shove somebody out while you're doing 100 down the highway?
Oh, you're an arrogant son of a bitch.
I'll get you over there, don't you worry.
Nolene was raised on a farm and has been driving trucks as long as she can remember.
The machines in the trucks are always there. It's a feel. You've either got it or you don't.
But this trip will be a test of more than just her skill behind the wheel. She's recovering from a painful knee reconstruction.
My greatest fear, I would never push a clutch again.
It's an interesting contraption. Put it this way, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be walking.
If her injury can't stand up to the trip, she could be forced to leave the job she's loved all her life.
It'll actually be the first time that I drive this trip. I haven't driven anything yet. So we'll see how the leg goes.
Bluesy and Nolene will have to survive the Great Central Road, a 1,200 kilometre stretch of rough dirt track.
Hold your line and you'll be fine.
It's a huge challenge for even the fittest driver.
Oh, I'm looking forward to getting out there.
Can't wait to see that bitumen run underneath, then just head out on the dirt.
When this couple first met, it was Nolene's mechanical nous which caught Bluesy's eye.
She used to do a lot of things a lot better than blokes used to do. Guys out there didn't have a clue what they were doing, where she did. She's pretty switched on.
But it was a run-in with a sexist boss which sealed their romance.
I got cranky because a man treated me like an idiot.
You ain't no idiot.
4 months I put up with that little Turk.
And I went and said my piece, and then we got instant dismissal.
This time, they're hauling 30 tonnes of freight to Alice Springs. At 800 kilometres to the nearest city, it's one of the most remote places on Earth. For Nolene, it's been a long road to recovery, but she's hoping today's the day she'll finally get back behind the wheel.
I gotta keep doing that. Just arthritis in the knee joint basically just causes that much pain that you limp so bad you twist the rest of your body. So about a week after I turned 50, they said, you will be here on the 4th and we will chop your knee up on the 5th.
The smooth bitumen is about to be replaced by something much redder and much tougher. The Great Central Road, all 1,200 kilometres of it. It's a dirt track that will test both truck and trucker to the limit. To soak up the punishment from the road surface, they need to lower their tyre pressures to almost half their normal level.
Pretty keen to get behind the wheel. Sick of sitting around doing nothing. Gotta do something. Bust them. Have a go. Get out there and bite some dirt. Do something.
Out here, road conditions are unpredictable. One thing that isn't is their deadline. They have 3 days to make it to Alice.
The boss has said we've got to be there Tuesday morning, but he doesn't know what the condition of the road is, and we've got to drive to the condition of the road. Rough, we go slow. If it's smooth, I'll make up time.
Nolene's getting ready for a moment she thought may never come again. Getting behind the wheel of a truck.
You've got to continually work your leg all the time. Straighten it, bend it, straighten it, bend it.
The road's living up to its reputation. The constant battering is taking its toll. After 5 hours in the driver's seat, Bluesy needs a break.
Have a piss.
And it's Nolene's moment of truth.
Righto, we shall give it a go. Day 2. Mid-morning, we'll give it a bash. Oh God, here we go. long as I can get it on that clutch, it's all good. And get it off. Got a bit to go, but we get there. You don't realise how much you actually use a bent leg until you've got a stiff one.
She's holding up so far, even if the moment might be lost on Bluesy.
You wait, Jeff. No, toes up.
But it's not long before the road gives her injured knee a real test. After fighting a tough section of the Great Central Road, Nolene has made it through her first big test behind the wheel. The road is finally giving her knee a breather.
Been busting for 3 months to get out in the bush. Sitting there waiting patiently, doing as I'm told, if the knee's going to work or not. But hey, guess what? I'm out here doing it. Yeah. And that's a good feeling.
It's been a long 3 months off the road, but at the end of a huge day for Nolene, the reward is some roadside tucker. In the place many fear, but which they love.
It was awesome getting in that truck yesterday.
I feel like I'm alive again. Yeah. Like every time you come out, it's a challenge. You don't know what you're going to come up against, and it's just awesome.
Go dude, ride the bush bike up the road here a bit.
Roger.
With temperatures into the high 30s and 500 kilometres to the next town, a lone cyclist is the last traveller you'd expect to see.
Nullarbor. You think you'd have more sense.
Having looked forward to being on the road together, it seems the long days in the cab are starting to get to Nolene and Bluesy.
You don't get it, this really shits me off. I share everything with you and I keep things for you. And you don't give
Just give us a bit, that's all I want.
Oh, for God's sake, here.
That much.
What?
On a bit.
How much is a bit?
Oh, 2 inches. Say yes.
No.
Okay.
What are you bullshitting about?
Just get back in your hole, donkey.
I'll give you knockerhead. Look at this silly old fart.
On these roads, when the going gets serious, being a team can save your load and your life. It's one of the hazards of dry dirt roads, a dust storm. Bluesy can't see clearly ahead.
Hold your line and you'll be fine.
If he stamps on the brakes, he risks rolling the truck. He needs Nolene to help him stay on the road and out of the path of oncoming traffic.
Come my way a little bit.
They must work together to get through it.
It's all straight. Come my way a little bit. You're too far to the right, love.
Bluesy and Nolene are in luck. As fast as it blows in, the storm blows by. After surviving 1,200 kilometres of pounding dirt roads, it's back onto the bitumen for the run into Alice. Nolene's career was hanging in the balance, but she survived everything the road could throw at her. This team are on time, in one piece, and very happy to be here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm achieving something, I'm doing something, I've got a challenge in life.
It can be a lonely life.
That's the good bit about us being together. It's just a lot easier with the two of us, isn't it?
On the Tanami track, Johnny Dowell is forced to pull over to stop his load from hitting the dirt.
Yeah, that thing shit itself and fell all the way back now.
The shifting load isn't the only thing that's got Johnny spooked. Now he has to spend the night next to Wolf Creek, the setting for a horror movie about an outback serial killer.
There's a nasty bastard out there called Mick Taylor. I'll see if he's still there.
After a restless night in the desert, Johnny's trying to kick-start his day.
Got to have a coffee, heart starter. Got to have at least 3 or nothing happens. This is like putting aero start in an old Mack truck.
Before turning to his truck problems, Johnny steals a peek at the infamous Wolf Creek crater.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
His search for villain Mick Taylor comes up empty.
I know you're here, you bastard.
Now Johnny has his own horror show to deal with. The stacks of frames are loose and unstable. He needs a forklift to rebalance them, but all he has are the straps. And they're running out fast.
I reckon I'll have none left when we get there. See how that goes. I think we're about 60 k's in out of 350.
He can't afford any more unscheduled stops.
I've got to be there by 12 o'clock at the latest. I've got a forklift there waiting for me. Very good chance it will be late if this keeps up at the rate it's been going, and I'll be paying for a forklift for nothing.
As he builds up speed, the corrugations start to bite.
My main worry is that load staying on that truck.
And now another hazard looms. Cattle grids.
I hate grids. They might look smooth on this side, but 9 times out of 10 there's a big drop-off on the other side.
Hitting it the wrong way could send Johnny's precarious truckload over the edge.
Just got to walk every axle over the top of it. They end up breaking stuff. Oh, we'll get out and have a look at what's going on back there. This load's all shifting all over the place.
To keep his house frames on the truck, he needs 15 straps on each trailer. That's 300 metres of polyester.
I'll end up looking like a float on the gay Mardi Gras by the time I'm finished.
This road is pushing Johnny's freight in all directions.
The way this is going, I'm going to have to put a long vehicle sign on. They want to come out by themselves, but they don't want to go back in.
If these poles edge all the way out, the entire load could come apart.
See how many's there when I get there. About 80 k's in now. Only 210 to go. Try and get up and running on top of these corrugations. Supposed to be there, I told them, around mid-morning or lunchtime. We're in mid-morning now, so we'll be battling to get there by lunchtime as well.
Eventually, the jarring corrugations give way to something softer, but equally dangerous.
Sand holes. That's a deceiving hill, that. It's a slight grade that goes up and up, and there's been that much wheel spin there previous that it's just stirred it all up and made it like the beach.
The beach is no place for a 30-ton truck, and Johnny's doing his best to avoid the patches of soft sand. But now Johnny's losing speed.
See, that doesn't feel right. We're stuck. We're rolling. Gotta get out and have a look. This isn't good.
His worst fears are quickly confirmed.
This road's gotten so boggy, they've lost traction and it's stuck.
He's dry bogged, 120 kilometres from his drop-off, and any help.
Now that I'm actually stopped and lost my momentum, it's going to be twice as hard to get going again.
Before he even tries to escape the soft sands, he must make his freight safe.
This load's all shifting all over the place. That's trying to work its way off the side. Another strap.
He's due at his drop-off in Balgo, 120 kilometres away, in 2 hours.
It's getting to the stage now. I'm going to run out of straps, run out of time, and run out of traction, all in one hit. And the truck's starting to overheat because it's pulling so hard through this.
He's got a forklift booked for the unload.
There's another one laying there.
If he's late, he'll still be charged. But Johnny's first priority is damage control.
This load is just getting longer and wider and deeper. These keep working their way out so far that the ones on top of them will drop down and these will never go back in.
He needs to knock this load back into shape.
Right.
With the load secure, he can finally try and free his truck.
Well, let's set the diff lock in, choose bogged gear, and hopefully we'll get going.
The diff lock will distribute power evenly across all the wheels, hopefully providing the traction he needs.
This the old girl's cooled back a bit now, that little rest. Get this diff lock. I'm just hoping that I'm going to be able to get enough momentum to get over this grade. Not liking it. But it is moving.
He's counting on more than 3 decades of outback trucking.
Although the movement's getting slower.
To get his rig out.
To get myself into a set of wheel tracks and stay in them, I'll have more hope getting enough momentum up to stop the wheel spin. If you rush it and boot it, you'll just dig holes and bog yourself.
It's painful progress, and Johnny's due to unload in less than an hour.
It'll take a long time to get there at this rate. There. Stop the wheel spin. I'll go for another gear to get a little bit of rolling power. Oh, we're getting good momentum now. We've got nearly 10 kilometres per hour.
He's clear of the sand, but Johnny's concerns are far from over.
I've got to have a piece of paper sign that says that the load arrived, and there's a little bit that says in good condition.
After 300 k's of brutalising road, Johnny's worried his load may be showing some scars.
Could be worse, could be on fire. There's the turn off to Belgo. Oh, this is my time now.
For now, it's a relief to leave the dust and the heat of the Tanami desert behind. Johnny's arrived at his drop-off point only an hour late, and the frames are still hanging in there.
Belgo Hills community, and everything appears to still be on the truck. Might not be exactly straight, but it's here.
The surviving straps have done their job, and the waiting forklift can get to work.
Yeah, it's all right. You're looking forward to this, eh?
But the housing frames are precariously balanced, making it difficult to lift them off.
Make sure we get these forks where the runs are.
Until this steel is stacked neatly on the ground, it's Johnny's responsibility.
Lift it straight up at that and see what happens. It's not tilting back far enough. Hang on before you put it down. This is not working. Try that.
Damage it now, and the pain of getting it here safely will have been for nothing.
Is that creeping down, is it? That go straight up. Hang on.
The forklift must find the exact spot to safely lift them off.
Try this again, see what happens. Just have to keep doing it until we get it right.
There's no margin for error. An inch the wrong way and they'll topple over.
Yeah, that looks like it's a good one. Both of them are under at that. Just keep coming in a bit more.
give it full tilt back now, John, see what happens. All right, lift it straight up now. If it starts creeping. Yeah, that got it nice.
These building materials survived the Tanami unscathed. Johnny's straps did their job until the end.
I think it is the last strap.
Making sure nothing fell off the back. Until now.
Standing there. Like it was solid steel.
The last few frames off and job done. Trucking veteran Steve Graham's heading to the beach.
It's really unusual for me in my life to actually get to a beach somewhere.
But it's no vacation.
You do anything silly out here, you pay for it.
The coast is a bone-crunching 600 kilometres away, at the very top of Australia. Steve must conquer the treacherous Gibb River Road to get there. It's notorious for eating trucks alive.
Idle along, grit your teeth.
On the outskirts of Kununurra, Steve hitches up the road train. He's on a rescue mission for two good mates. Hundreds of kilometres away, husband and wife trucking team Joe and Nick Atkins are in strife on the edge of the continent.
We've got a truck down at the moment with the wheel bearing and just too much work on. We've got Steve to do this run for us.
Steve gave us our very first job 10 years ago.
And they want a hand, well, we'll head over there and see what we can do for them.
Steve needs all his skills.
Pretty rough, this one.
Refined over 40 years behind the wheel.
I reckon I'm getting off this bloody road onto another worse road.
If he's to conquer this truck-killing road.
And then you get the odd local customer like him and he ain't scared of nothing.
Steve's cargo is massive. 5 shipping containers, fully loaded with building materials and fuel.
This is the last bits of it.
His faithful companion Bella is along for the ride. Back on the road after busting 2 of her ribs.
Righto. Oh, well, that's good. I've got everything chained down and I'm on the road again.
Steve knows Joe and Nick's reputation is on the line. He has to win this battle with the notorious Gibb River Road.
It's the end of that beautiful bitumen and the start of the bloody corrugations. We've got 600 kilometres to go.
And every one of them a bone-shaking and load-bashing ordeal to endure.
Here we go. There's the Pentecost River down there.
The waters may look tranquil, but the hidden dangers beneath even have an old hand like Steve concerned.
The worry with crossings like this is you get the rocks between your jewels and then you blow 2 tyres or rip the sidewalls out of a couple. You can hear some of the rocks banging up underneath us. And of course we're dragging 3 trailers through here, 62 wheels.
Catastrophe can strike at any moment, leaving Steve and his giant cargo stranded, with only crocodiles for company.
It's giving it a bit of pain here and there. The worry is that if the little round rocks get between the jewels. Righto, I better go and check that there's no rocks between my wheels. Let the dog have a drink in the creek. Watch out for crocodiles, doggy.
While Steve checks his 62 tyres survived the crossing, Bella keeps an eye out for unwanted visitors. The tyres are intact, but the rough crossing has shaken Steve's load.
Look at that, this one's moved across. You wouldn't think it would do it, but they do it.
Back on the road. Back to hours of grueling corrugations. The treacherous Gibb is taking its toll.
Oh, I don't know what's going on now. I've got the brakes come on somewhere back there. Let's have a look at what's going on here. You can see the brakes locked on and skidding down the road. This brake here appears to be the problem.
It's a major brake failure that can only be fixed from underneath the truck. With only 2 of the truck's 16 brakes locked on, it's a dangerous task.
Now, I really don't like doing this, getting under a trailer on a hill like this, but...
Steve takes out a little extra insurance. A rock and 2 brakes are all that stand between Steve and disaster.
What was that noise?
He can't figure out why his air brakes have seized and locked the wheels. If Steve can't unlock his brakes, he could be stranded here for days.
Oh, I don't want to move. You hose clamp. I found the problem. I had a maxi booster replaced on this trailer. The hose clamp obviously wasn't tightened up properly, and it's just dropped the hose clamp. And this particular brake here has got no air going to it, so the maxi's locked on.
The simple hose clamp is just the latest victim of the corrugated road.
Well, that's that sorted, I think. A silly little 50-cent, 75-cent hose clamp, you know?
But the corrugations aren't about to make Steve's life any easier.
It's pretty rough, this one. These bloody corrugations, I just went to grab a gear then and I just couldn't get it out of gear. Then this is not good.
On one of Australia's toughest, hottest roads.
Well,
the last thing he expects to see is a lone cyclist.
all I can say is good on her. It's a tough job driving the Gibb River without riding it.
Steve still has 360 kilometres of this trucking hell to conquer.
I'm a bit under 5 kilometres an hour now. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting sick of these corrugations already. I'm going to call it a day. Come on, Bill.
After 13 hours in the saddle, battling everything the road throws at him.
No, not again. The quarter guard's not just cosmetic, it's there for a real reason. All the stones that fly off this steer tyre bash into those oil filters and knock a hole in the oil filter. That's the engine oil filter, drops my engine oil. And there we go. Imagine the damage that would have happened if I hadn't realised what was going on. It would have gone under tyres and all.
It's a lucky break for Steve, but he still has to deliver the massive cargo for his mates, Nick and Joe.
I'll have the leprechaun stuck on the window. You're supposed to bring me luck. See, here you go. Today's got to be a better day.
To get to the end of this truck-busting journey, he'll need all the luck he can get.
Well, lucky leprechaun, thank you. There is a grader here.
Steve's leprechaun seems to be working. This stretch of the Gibb River Road has been recently graded and the corrugation smoothed out.
Into the jump-up country now.
In the Outback, jump-ups are slang for steep hills.
We're getting a bit closer to that mongrel theta jump-up now.
The theta jump-up is one of Steve's nemesis. 350 metres of nerve-wracking climb.
I am going to have a crack at it with the 3 trailers.
To deliver on time, Steve is about to attempt something he's never done before.
Get myself in the lowest of my low gears, engage all of my diff locks and cross locks.
Pull 3 trailers, nearly 100 tonnes, up in one go. 350 metres of steep incline.
I've got to try and pick that bit between wheel spin and stall out.
He needs all the grunt of his 600 horsepower engine.
As I feel the rough bits of ground, I just ease off on the throttle ever so slightly. And of course, here's the mongrel bit up in front of me, this nasty little pinch. It's loose surface now, it's scary as
If the wheels start spinning, his massive rig will be stranded on the hill.
Oh, I just had wheel spin. Every now and then I feel those wheels just start to break traction. She's hanging on.
Feeder
That's the first time in my trucking career I've pulled 3 up here.
is finally conquered. On the notorious Gibb River Road, Steve's truck is bashed and bruised.
Well, it's good to be nearly there.
But not beaten. A grueling journey ends with a welcome reunion.
Hey, how you going?
Trucking mates Nick and Joe are thrilled to see Steve and his load make it to the coast in one piece.
How are you, love? You good? Oh, this is good. I get 2 cuddles. Right, well, there you go. There's the ocean just over there. You know, Australia's a bloody big country, but I finally got to one end of it.
Steve has called on all his skills to defeat one of Australia's toughest roads.
That's the last container off. The job's done. It's really unusual for me in my life to actually get to a beach somewhere and to be able to sit back and enjoy good friends and look out over the ocean.
An Outback legend has earned the right to kick back and relax.